Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Since the AMC 8 is happening in a few weeks, I wanted to create a preparation series that helps you guys prepare and get good scores. This is the first video in the series, and it will be going over problems 1 to 10 for the AMC 8 2025. These problems are fairly simple, so I won't go into much detail. Starting with problem 1, the 8-pointed start shown in the figure below is a popular quilting pattern. What percent of the 4x4 grid is covered by the star? Now, by counting, you find that there are 16 triangles in total. Each triangle's area is 1/2, so 16 times 1/2 is 8. The total area is 4 times 4, which is 16, so the percentage is 8 over 16, which is equivalent to 50%.
Moving on to problem 2. The table below shows the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs that were used to represent different numbers. For example, the number 32 was represented by the hieroglyphs with 3 arches and 2 lines. What number is represented by the following combination of hieroglyphs? The solution is very quick. By substituting number values for the hieroglyphs, we find that there are one of the 10,000 types, 4 of 100, 2 of 10, and 3 of 1. Summing these up gets you the answer of 10,423. Problem 3. Buffalo Shuffle O is a card game in which all the cards are distributed evenly among all players at the start of the game. When Annika and 3 of her friends play Buffalo Shuffle O, each player is dealt 15 cards. Suppose 2 more friends join the next game. How many cards will be dealt to each player? First, we need to find the total number of cards, which can be easily done by multiplying 4 by 15 to get 60. Then, during the next round, there are a total of 6 people, so you can find the answer by dividing 60 by 6 to get the answer of 10. For problem 4, the problem is Lucius is counting backward by 7s. His first 3 numbers are 100, 93, and 86. What is his 10th number? This is an arithmetic sequence where the common difference is -7, and the first term is 100. Using these, we can find the equation for the ESYH term. When you plug in n equals 9, we find that the answer is 100 minus 9 times 7, which is 37. Next, problem 5. Betty drives a truss to deliver packages in a neighborhood whose street map is shown below. Betty starts at the factory labeled F and drives to location A, B, and then C before returning to F. What is the shortest distance in blocks she can drive to complete the route? The shortest path is simply the length plus the width of the rectangles where the start and end are the 2 corners. By finding the lengths and adding, we obtain a final answer of 24. Problem 6. Sekou writes the numbers 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. After he erases one of the numbers, the remaining sum is a multiple of 4. What number did he erase? This question can be solved with basic modular arithmetic. The sum of all the values is 85, which has a remainder of 1 when it is divided by 4. Because of this, the number we delete has to be congruent to 1 too, so that when they are subtracted, the difference is 0. Going through each of the numbers, we find that 17 is the only number, so 17 is the answer. Problem 7. On the most recent exam on Professor Zochi's class, 5 students earned a score of at least 95%. 13 students earned a score of at least 90%. 27 students earned a score of at least 85%. And 50 students earned a score of at least 80%. Score of at least 80%. How many students earned a score of at least 80% and less than 90%? This problem is tricky. The total number of students that got at least 80 is not the sum of the values, but 50. The rest of problem is easy as you just subtract 12 from 50 for an answer of 37. Problem 8. Isaiah cuts open a cardboard cube along some of its edges to form the flat shape shown on the right, which has an area of 18 square centimeters. What is the volume of the cube in cubic centimeters? There are 6 faces in a cube, so each face's area is 18 divided by 6, which is 3. Because of this, each side is the square root of that which is square root 3. We can cube this to get the total area of 3 root 3. Problem 9. Ningli looks at the 6 pairs of numbers directly across from each other on a clock. She takes the average of each pair of numbers. What is the average of the resulting 6 numbers? Starting from 1, we can find that each of the average of the diagonals increase by 1. 1 is diagonal to 7, so the average is 8. Summing up the values, we find the sum by adding 4 plus 5, plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, and then dividing by 6 to get the answer of 6.5. In the figure below, ABCD is a rectangle with sides of length. AB equals 5 inches and AD equals 3 inches. Rectangle ABCD is rotated 90 degrees clockwise around the midpoint of side DC to give a second rectangle. What is the total area in square inches covered by the 2 overlapping rectangles? Since it is rotated, we can find that the E is the midpoint of D and C. Since quadrilateral EFBC is a square, we can easily find that area of the shape by adding the area of the rectangle and then subtracting the overlapping square to find the answer of 23.75.